Sometimes at SEMA you find these hidden gems that you didn't look for it, but all of a sudden you saw it. Right here I saw the 6.2 liter supercharge. We know this because that's what is on every Ram 1500 TRX. So I double checked, and underneath the hood here you can see it is a Hellcat indeed. 6.2 liters of supercharged awesomeness on this Toyota Tacoma. Pre-runner, cambered wheels and tires. We got worn locking rear axles, Volk racing wheels, Toyo MT tires, long travel kit, wide body. Everything on this was modified. You can't even open up the hood. I don't even know how you would do it, but this thing is all custom. I bet it goes 150 miles an hour in the desert. Check out this roof rack light system. You got some Baja designs in there, tucked in, really, really cool and clean. PRP racing seats, and even a little handbrake for good measure. You can even see the Hellcat shifter in there, a death grip, steering wheel in the back. This is all heavy duty loaded up. Look at the fuel tank on this thing, nuts. A ton of custom work, ME50, the wide body. This Tacoma is the Tacoma that your girlfriend warned you about. This is a $200,000 rig, easy, maybe even more. All King shocks. Looks like a ground up chassis. If you were to take a regular Tacoma and put a 702 horsepower engine into it, it would explode. Like it just, you got to redo everything from the ground up. This build is nuts. I got to see some videos of it. Send me a link if you guys have seen this Tacoma out doing crazy things, because I want to see it. We're in the Top Street Performance booth with an awesome Tacoma here. I really like the CBI off-road side steps. You got the whole Kuwait system on the back of that rack. Up top, we got the KC highlight light bar right there. Roverall rooftop tent. I haven't seen those guys before. These grab handles by Prinsu are pretty rad. We got a big ladder right here. I really like this system to mount your mountain bikes on the molly panels themselves or on the rack is really cool. And then on the other side, you got a high lift jack, a little Chase light bar right here. Everything else looks relatively stock. And for suspension, of course, Kings seem to be the star of the show with some Icon Vehicle Dynamics, lower control arms, all billet. Cool Tacoma. Roverall. Politics may be rife with controversy, but there's one thing we can all agree on that you need to write your local congressman about. Bring the Hilux back to the United States of America, or bring it to the United States of America. It is an outrage that this thing is not available in the US market, especially one as built at like this. This is the Air Design Toyota Hilux that is just decked out to the nines. I really like that front bumper. These little flares right here allow you to be very streamlined. You got the snorkel, you got the rack up top. In the back, you got a full rack system with some Max Trax traction boards right here. Overall, the biggest thing that I'm going to take away from this is I want one in the United States and I want it now. So write your congressmen, women, and men and tell them. Otherwise, we're just not going to get it. Check out this third gen supercharged Tacoma here. You got the V6, but with a ProCharger supercharger on it. You got a carbon fiber hood, a super rad bumper that I like a lot. I'm not sure who makes that, but you got the Baja design lights in there on the side. We got the raised white wheels, which is definitely a look, but I think it works on this rig. A cool wrap. That Tone Girls Taco, that one girl's taco, got it. You got two full-size spares in the back. You got long travel kit with Kings. That is definitely gonna hit the trail pretty well. L4 rear bumper. I'm assuming the front is a L4 as well. Looks like a Tacoma Beast build. This thing's pretty sweet. It'd be super fun to take out. We got a sweet Tacoma build, this little overlanding setup with the carbon fenders right here. I'd like to see a little bit bigger wheels and tires, but what are you gonna do? These will get the job done. Those are LT 285s. Terrain Attack tires on there. The BA4 side steps are really clean. I like how nothing pops out, so it's not gonna get caught up on rocks. And in the back, you have the Tough Stuff rooftop tent. Look at this canopy setup, the Tough Stuff Overland. This pops up which allows you access into the back, and it looks like either aluminum or stainless steel. The BA4 rear tire carrier is rad. Overall, really cool build. I would like to see this rack way closer to the body because that thing is like a sail, but overall you could have some really fun adventures in this rig. Icon vehicle dynamic suspension throughout, and front bumper is a BA4 off-road bumper too. All right, we got the brand new Tacoma. This is the Pro Runner race concept vehicle that looks awesome. Not only do you have some huge 35-inch BFGs on there, the back headache rack is pretty cool. 84 Johnson on the ARB headache rack. You got a fuel tank in the back there and a full-size tire. No need for a tailgate because you're gonna have to switch that tire out when you're burning up the dirt on the trails. It's pretty cool. And then over here, we got another Tacoma that's more of an overlanding setup. You got the full, it looks like ARB rack right here. The only thing I don't like about it, I like my back covered. If this is open on your rack, everything back here is going to get dirty, but you got some Pelican King cases mounted on the side and the top. You got a full awning over there, the ARB fridge freezer combo. Some cool, I like these side steps, just OEM, and then up front, it's your standard Tacoma or the new gen Tacoma. I really like that Tacoma rack too. Really clean, conforms to the body line with the Yakima road shower. Overall, a great little overlanding setup for you Tacoma enthusiasts. All right, we got a 2024 Tacoma here with some Bayer disc brakes. You got the new Flowmaster Signature Series exhaust that you can see down there. A really cool wrap, pre-runner concept that has little, not even really a headache rack. I think this is more just for display purposes, but 2 spare tires in the back. Suspension setup is all the ADS reservoir shocks right there. ADS looks like billet control arms. A cool little build in the Holley Performance booth. We got a Trail Hunter Tacoma here with a ton of carbon fiber. You got the stock snorkel, which I think is a cool look, protects from some of the dust, and if you happen to do some water fording, you could do that. You got the CBI side steps that are my favorite side steps on the Tacoma. The additional carbon fiber on the fenders. You got the raised wheels on there. Looks like those are forged. This Prinsu rack is awesome. Not only because you could have additional storage, it mounts your LP4 lights on there by Baja Designs. You got a full awning right here, an Evolution V2 rooftop tent by FSR, and then in the back, the CBI off-road rack system. I'd love to see a tonneau cover, but you got some Pelican cases and you can still access everything. Max tracks on this side, some additional jerry cans on the other side. Really clean build that I also really like this color wrap. I don't know what it is, but I like it. I missed this, but the CBI off-road front bumper is sick because it still maintains the body line and the original structure of the Tacoma itself, but you can add a winch in here, some light bars, and it just looks so clean. I've seen people mount lights right here as well, which is a really cool solution, but this is a really awesome build. We're in the TN booth with a Tacoma that is decent build. You got the RSG side steps right here. Looks like a Prinsu rack, which is pretty standard, but the suspension setup, upper billet control arms, and then some heavy duty shocks. I don't know much about them, but it looks pretty cool. I'd love to see how it works on the road. You got aftermarket bumper right here. I'm not sure what it is, but with the integrated Baja Designs light bar, pretty sweet. We're in the Alpha Rex booth with a Tacoma Beast Tacoma. This thing has the C4 fabrication front bumper that's really clean. Of course, the brand new Alpha Rex front headlights and rear headlights. We got Baja Designs lights with the Baja Design light bar. I like this little light bar mount. I like how you don't need a full rack if you don't want it. You could just mount your lights right there. The C4 side steps right here, really clean. I like, again, I'm gonna say this a lot, I don't like side steps that just stick out, that gets caught up in rocks. I like that you could go up and over and it still protects your body. You have Vossen wheels on here. We ran these before on our Ram 1500 TRX. These are the HFX ones, really clean in the bronze. And then you have Camberg lower control arms. I'm not sure what the suspension setup is. And then a Kuwait rack on the back. That is a really clean rack. Tons of molly panels. You could mount a bike right here. We got the FSR tent that flips all the way over. And then in the back, to put the cherry on top, a C4 fabrication rear bumper. Really cool build at the Alpharex booth. We're in the real truck booth with Bear Grylls' Tacoma. This thing has an awesome front bumper that conforms to the body lines of the rig itself, which I love. A little cover right here in case you get any little buggies in there. Of course, Bear, what's up, dude? You got the side steps that are really clean. We have Raceline wheels on there. It looks like just some 33-inch Toyota tires. All the suspension is stock, but this is a cool product. So this headache rack makes it so you don't lose your tonneau cover. It actually bolts right into there, which is pretty sweet. Bear Grylls Tacoma. We're in the Weston Super Winch booth with a really cool Tacoma. There's some things I want to point out on this. This front bumper is heavy duty, but still you don't have to chop the body at all. You can have a Super Winch placed right underneath there, tucked in and out of the way. You got some Baja design lights right there on the side and in the back. Check out this rack system. Look how low profile it is, which is something I always look for, and is very, very aerodynamic. Got some grab handles up there, throw your bikes on the top. And in the back, we have a cool canopy system with storage on one side. This flips up and over, and then you can still have a rack and additional storage on top. Wheels and tire combo, it looks like Tri-PR King shocks. Overall, that's pretty cool. Look at these side steps too. These are the Weston side steps. I like how they come down. They still don't stick out too much, and this is gonna be the lowest point that's gonna hit on rocks first, so it doesn't damage your vehicle. On the back, on the other side, you gotta check this out. A little first aid kit, a super winch, an additional storage for your storage, or no, a little table that pops out. That is pretty sick. This all tucks in and up out of the way. Weston did a good job with this. Looks lightweight, maybe aluminum or stainless steel. Really cool. This rear bumper is sick too. We're in the R booth with a really cool Tacoma. You got the old man emu setup on the suspension, some tubular upper control arms. That's gonna make sure you're staying on the trail and where you wanna be. These pod lights are nacho pod lights. Up top, we got the ARB. I knew it was ARB the whole time. I was tricking you. For 2 years ago, you guys commented on that. The base rack system with full storage units up there. And then check out this canopy slash cover fiberglass. Gives you a little bit extra room. And what I like about the fiberglass solution, as long as it's heavy duty enough, which I'm assuming it is if they have a rooftop tint on it, it's way lighter. So you're not weighing down the back of your vehicle. And it's really clean. I like the color combo. In the back, you got the full ARB storage solution, a cooler fridge freezer combo that comes out and pulls out. Really awesome integrated design by ARB. Oh, I didn't even mention this, and a full kitchen setup. This folds up, tucks in, everything's complete and compact, and you still have room for your gear in the back. Really cool solution by ARB. We're in the Yakima booth with a 2024 Tacoma. The front is mostly stock, but in the back is where all the magic is happening. Not only do you have this Yakima rack that adjusts your height, so if you wanted to mount something underneath, you can make it even a little bit higher. You got the platform, you got the full 360-degree awning. A road shower right here, which is gonna warm up on the trail. But one thing I really like that I wanted to include in some of our rigs is this kitchen in a box. So literally everything you need in a kitchen fits in this box. You open it up on the trail, and then you have everything. Take this out, put it on your little table right here. I like how this also has a little kitchen sink with it. That all folds up into this, which is really rad. And then you just throw that into the back of your truck. Bike rack too, because you could have full-size mountain bikes on here without any worries. We got a nice tonneau cover back there. And this isn't the swing out version, but it's still pretty rad that you could just take the whole thing off when you're done mountain biking and then you have a truck again. Hey, are you enjoying this awesome content? Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon because we're going to be producing over 10 videos throughout the course of SEMA this week. And if you subscribe and leave a comment in any of our videos, you're automatically entered to win a free Roam Adventure cooler. We're giving away a bunch of them to our fans and anyone who watches our content throughout the show. We're in the Air Design booth with a pretty cool Tacoma. What I like about this thing are these fenders right here. If you get it scratched up, you can replace them and they're lower profile. It just really looks cool on this truck. Some other things that they have, this little hood scoop right here. I'm not sure what functionality that does. Maybe it's just something that looks cool. And then Raceline wheels in bronze. You got the Ready Lift tubular upper control arms. The Vulcan shocks in there with some Toyo tires. This side step is just an OEM side step, but this back rack is Forged4's, is really cool. If you like this look, again, I'm gonna say it again, I like a tonneau cover in the back of my truck if I'm gonna have a rack like this, but the Forged bumper on the back is pretty rad too, and the one on the front. So all Forged on the bumpers and the rack, which is rad, but I like these fenders a lot, air design. We're in the Expedition 1 booth with the Tacoma. That is a really cool front bumper. You have the integrated bull bar, and you don't have to chop the body at all. That just is bolt on. You got a Warren winch. It looks like a come up Warren winch. And then in the back, and the rack is really cool. Not only do you have these really clean side steps that add some additional grip without having to have like the sandpaper type finish on it, you have got the mule rack up top, which is cool because you can mount just about anything up there. And then back here, I like this little smaller rack that's a little bit more compact, doesn't stick up super high. You could put a rooftop tent on here as long as it's like not a clamshell, but like it opens up on the side. And overall, pretty cool. I'd like to see a tonneau cover, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Those wheels are pretty sick too. These are fuel beadlock wheels that in bronze with like this color combo is really, really cool. The Icon Vehicle Dynamics booth with a wide body Tacoma here that has some fiberglass fenders. Of course, you got the Icon billet upper and lower control arms. What I really like about this setup is look at this bin pack lift for all you garage mechanics out there. Instead of having a full lift, you could just have that to lift up your truck. Pretty sweet if you ask me. The suspension is really where this thing shines, all long travel. Look how much flex you have in a Tacoma. That is wild. The reservoir on these things, oh my God. I don't know what stage that is, but it is absolutely insane. Maybe they should put a Hellcat in it, like that other one we saw earlier. It'd be pretty. Imagine driving down the road and seeing this amount of lights come at you. As I've always said, you can never have too much light. We're in the Diode Dynamics booth. Got some awesome pod lights, light bars galore going from amber. I love the backlit on them. On this Tacoma itself, we got Yokohama tires on it. This rack system is the Kuwait rack system that I think is super low profile. If you like Molly panels, this is where you want to be. Up top, we got the Kuwait rack as well, and in the back, really cool solution if you wanted to use this as a table. You could just put that on there, the DZ, and then also on the inside with the Molly panels, you can mount anything you want. You got a chase light right here, some Pelican cases up top, and of course, some Max tracks on this side. Really cool build. Diode Dynamics does really good lights, and this is a quality that you come to expect at SEMA. We're in the Ironman 4x4 booth with a pretty sweet Tacoma. This thing has, similar to the Land Cruiser, a huge brush guard on this front bumper. This thing is heavy duty stainless steel. We have a we have an integrated winch placement that doesn't have a winch in there right now. Some LED lights with the amber covers that you could take off. On the side, similar tubular design on the side steps that are, I've never seen tubulars this big, which is nice if you want to protect your body. Up top, a really sleek rack, and then this canopy system is really heavy duty, super rad. I love being able to have the pass-through and the storage on the other side. Ironman 4x4, really cool stuff. And real quick on the other side, this storage solution is cool. What I like about it is you close it and that light would turn off normally. You got some LEDs on here, but a ton of storage solutions, and you could see everything with the glass on there. I haven't seen that in a canopy system yet, and it's pretty cool. Overall, really awesome Tacoma build. I'm in the Overland Vehicle Systems with a pretty cool Tacoma. This thing is the iForce Max TRD off-road. Nothing too crazy about the rig itself, but what I really like is all the Overland accessories. We ran a Bushveld RTT on one of our giveaways in the past, and it was fantastic. Great value and really high quality product. I like this XD series Batwing awning that goes all the way around. You have a pass-through on the side, and this whole system actually opens up so that flips over and you have a bed in the back, which is pretty cool. Molly panels on the back right here, and then there's a ton of gear and accessories and other solutions that Overland Vehicle Systems has on store here. Check them out at overlandvehiclesystems.com. But this canopy system is pretty rad, really cool. The Magnaflow and Caneburg booth with the Ivan Stewart Ironman Tacoma. This thing is sweet with KMC beadlock wheels, kinetic upper control arms, Dominator preload system, and kinetic rear trailing arms. Those are heavy duty billet aluminum, and of course a wrap job to match Ivan Stewart's ridiculously awesome racing Toyota back in the day. This is really cool. And of course, we can't forget the MagnaFlow exhaust, which sounds fantastic. We're at the Attica 4x4 booth with a Tacoma that is pretty sweet. Check out this front bumper. It's got the bull bar right here, integrated winch. Skid plate is still there, so nothing's gonna get banged up. On the side, we have the KMC wheels in white. That's definitely a look that some people like. Some people, not necessarily me. However, you got the Prinsu rack up top, the Diode Dynamics lights, some Pelican cases, and then check out this tent. This is the OVS Laus rooftop tent, batwing awning, and then this is the Overland Vehicle Systems racks or canopy system. You pop that out, this thing opens up, you could access the back. And in the back, I like that you could still see throughout the back. This is FPV Overland, cool build, an awesome bumper in the back as well. Really cool. We're in the Kuwait booth with a Tacoma here that's pretty rad. I like this DV8 front bumper. You can see the fog lights are actually way down there, which I don't know how practical that is, but I do like how it's nice and compact. This rack is pretty sweet because you have the integrated, it looks like you could do maybe some Baja designs or other lights right here. I like that a lot. Low profile, very flat platform, and in the back, the Kuwait canopy system is really cool. It's just an interesting design, and if you see here, it's very thin, so lighter weight than some of the other canopies out there. You could have a rack up top, mount anything you want on there, and still have everything protected. I like the Molly panels on the inside. Kuwait always does good work. We want to work with them at some point in the future, but I like this canopy system. May not be as heavy duty per se, but also you're saving a ton of weight by having much thinner doors on this thing. Also in the Kuwait booth is another Tacoma with the same rack on it, but one thing I like about this rack in the back, it's not fully connected, so you just have two little bars right here that allow you to store gear on it without having a ton of additional weight. So if you want something that's lower profile with some Molly panels, but you don't want to necessarily go with like a full rack or a full canopy, this probably only adds 30 pounds to your rig and still could store a ton of gear and accessories. I like that solution a lot. I'm in the Thule booth with an awesome Tacoma here. One thing I really like about it, the CA Tune off-road front bumper. I haven't seen them produce bumpers for the Tacoma yet, so this is the first time I've seen it. We've ran it on our Sprinter vans in the past. Awesome, awesome fabrication shop in California. You got the LP6s on there, and then on the side, you got the Icon Vehicle Dynamics. It looks like the Stage 10 kit with King shocks. Black Rhino wheels in bronze. I love these wheels. I'm not sure which ones they are. You got the Toyo Open Country 35s on it. The CA Tune side steps. Check out these side steps, guys. So you got the tubular stainless steel, but they don't stick out too much, and you're not carrying a ton of extra weight by having a full step right there. In the back, we got the Thule rack system that adjusts. You could get it in different heights, and then the Thule rooftop tent that folds over. Really cool. The full platform up here. Oh, underside grab handles, which is interesting. One thing that is kind of interesting about that is if it's on the side, sometimes you could hear it a little bit more, so maybe it's a little bit more aerodynamic. Integrated light bar on the front, and then overall, pretty classy Tacoma. CA Tune off-road and Thule.